Good morning, comrades. I'd like to give a little update on the channel, and I'm going to reference here in a little bit the last video I did about Lady Justice, and then I'm going to get into the courts and jurisdiction, lawyers, that kind of thing. I spoke briefly on quite a few of those topics right there, but I'd like to start out this morning by saying thanks once again to all the viewers, those that like, and as of this morning at 9:30, I've got 178 subscribers, 9 videos, 4,882 views, 318 likes, and 1 dislike. Now, I'd like to speak a little bit about that. I don't mind constructive criticism. Matter of fact, I encourage it. Because it's good conversation. I love to argue. A lot of people say, especially spouses or significant others, you like to argue. You argue too much. I wish you wouldn't argue with me all the time. Actually, it's not argue. It's a verbal altercation, a heated verbal altercation. Argue by definition means to make clear. And in most heated verbal altercations, clarity is never came to most of the time. Sometimes it is, but so I appreciate that. I'd like to go on with that just a little bit further, and so I talked with this person. I believe there's been a couple times that he's mentioned comments that I made, and he had said that the last video that I made was, well, according to modern times, the definition for justitia doesn't really apply. That's not what it means now. Yes, it does. And I made the reference that when you look up in Webster's Collegiate Dictionary, Noah Webster's Collegiate Dictionary from 1898, that when you look up the word ambulance, it's a 2-wheel cart used to remove wounded soldiers from the battlefield. But that's not what you would think an ambulance was, because that's not what you're used to identifying with when you hear ambulance. But in 1898, there wasn't any automobiles. So the only thing that they had for an ambulance was the 2-wheel cart used to remove wounded soldiers from the battlefield. If you look in the definition today, you'll see, an automobile or a vehicle used to haul the wounded and the sick to the hospital. But that doesn't mean it still doesn't mean a 2-wheel cart used to remove injured soldiers from the battlefield. Matter of fact, they still use them today. Well, at least they did 30 years ago when I was in. So, well, that doesn't pertain to, nobody recognizes the 2-wheel cart as an ambulance anymore. That's irrelevant to today's definitions. So my point was, well, okay, then the definitions in Black's Law from the 4th edition, they don't apply either, because there's a 9th edition. That's ridiculous to even think of something like that. So, but that's not the point. I said, that's not the point, guy. You know, the point is that it's about being forced into a pagan house of worship against the dictates of your conscience. I don't care what you think about the definition of a word is. It's about what you think when it comes to that particular video. So I'm going to step back from that a little bit and talk about, in this video here, about the so-called courts, administrative tribunals, the judges, the attorneys. As I said in previous videos, they're legislative, created and controlled by executive branch of the government, by monopolistic organizations. So it's all with foreign title. And I did find the Tennessee in the Tennessee Constitution, Article 1, Section 22. It's perpetuities and monopolies. That perpetuities and monopolies are contrary to the genius of a free state and shall not be allowed. Okay, so I did find that this morning while I was looking through here, and these so-called courts are totally screwed up. And I even spoke about in propria persona, Shuri juris in propria persona. In propria persona means improper person. And these so-called courts, they don't have jurisdiction. They don't. And this morning, I want to talk about that. When you look up the word in propria persona in a legal dictionary, it's going to say improper person. And then there's going to be a footnote, at least there is in Black's Law 4th edition. And in there, and I'm quoting from Black's Law 4th edition, in the footnote, it says, "It is a rule in pleading that pleads to the jurisdiction of the court must be pled in propria persona. Because pled by an attorney, they admit jurisdiction. As an attorney is an officer of the court, and he is presumed to plead after having obtained leave, which admits the jurisdiction." Okay, that's in some jurisdictions, however, this rule is no longer recognized. Who cares? The fact of the matter is that when you give an attorney power of attorney, he is actually speaking as if he is you, and they don't have jurisdiction. That's why it can be challenged. You always challenge jurisdiction when they force you into their arena or playground or whatever, corporate trust business entity. And it says right here, it says, because if pled by an attorney, they admit jurisdiction. There you go. They don't have jurisdiction. It takes an attorney to plead it. That's why they're quick to say, well, if you don't have an attorney, we'll appoint you one. Well, of course they will. They're trying to get the jurisdiction. They don't have it. No court has jurisdiction over the human. And it goes on to say that an attorney is an officer of the court. They work for the court. If they're an officer for the court who steps out of the position long enough to plead for you and then steps back in again, then they're not working for you. They're working for the court. That's a bias, is what it is. If they're working for the court and the prosecution's working for the court and the judge is working for the court and the bailiff's working for the court, how are you getting any kind of right rule? I don't call it justice, I call it right rule, because that's what you should be getting. But they don't have the jurisdiction. Never had it and never will until you or the attorney that's acting as you gives it to them. Okay, I just wanted to briefly touch on that, and you know, like I said, feel free, man, to you know, hit me up and question me. If you disagree with what I'm saying, I'd love to hear your opinion. But come at me with some intelligence. I won't play nonsense. I will not play nonsense. It's a waste of my time. It's also a waste of yours. And this fellow likes to do this, and you know, I don't mind, but I shut him down fast. Here's the thing. I asked him. I said, "Hey, man, are you an attorney? But you don't have to answer that question. You know, you don't have to answer that question. You know, if you know, you're more entitled to plead the fifth, because what you're doing basically is corruption, deceit. You know, I don't like lawyers. I don't like them at all. Matter of fact, I hate them. I hate lawyers. The reason that I hate them is because Jesus hated them. He hated them. They're the only bunch in the scriptures that, you know, I mean, the Messiah said, "Woe unto you, lawyers. You know, you hold the keys to heaven, and you can't get in, therefore you're not allowing anyone else to." And then he goes on to say, "How will you escape hell?" Okay? You know, if he's telling these lawyers, you know, "Hey man, how are you going to escape hell? You scumbag." You know, they don't like me. The system doesn't like me. Because I'm not one of them. I'm not a liar. I'll speak the truth. And, you know, question me at it if you want. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. You know, but the minute I asked this guy if he was an attorney, it's like, all I hear is crickets. Chirp, 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 chirp. So, you know, like I said, feel free to hit me up. Love talking to you guys. Have a blessed day. Bye for now.